Like that. Ooh, I'm in my new bag, my bad. You ain't geese, too bad, my bad. Yeah. First of the month, I'ma run it back. Ay. Same day, why I'ma run it back. Ay. Friday, payday, run it back. Ay. Run it back, run it back, run it back. 48 yards, I run it back. Ay. I cop a car, I run it back. Go yo, then run it back. Run it back, run it back, run it back. Hello, that's the Chad calling. Let me click over real quick.
Matching hundreds. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings.
We are just to the west of you, Coach, on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A former Seminole back home in Florida, it's Dalvin Cook. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. He was, without a doubt, one of the catalysts in that victory.
And he can really be the glue that makes this offense go, because when defenders have to commit to stopping him, that just opens up more opportunities in the passing game. 2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down. Here's Cousins. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook, and he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Just a yard, but that's all they needed, and by the slimmest of margins, it'll be 1st and goal.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, hammering for the goal line. He loses the football, and the Buccaneers have it.
Gardner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Back near his own goal line, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Their bread and butter is their passing game. After that last play, maybe they need to go back to that passing game.
So what's been good for them along the way is they understand their identity. They are a passing team, but they do like to mix in the run every now and then just to keep people off balance. Didn't work very well on that one, but all in all, I like their philosophy.
A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 43. A run on first down, but it's not going to get him much, maybe a yard, and that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Cousins airing it out deep for Smith. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Give him 32 on the play. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on the gain there, and it will take us to the end of quarter number 1.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Olabisi Johnson, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Well, we had the scoreless first quarter of play. We sure didn't have to wait long into the second quarter to get some action on the scoreboard.
So was the first quarter a feeling out process? I mean, that was an interesting quarter, wasn't it? Because we had some action, we had some good play, just didn't have any points. So now, it's game on.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Winston and the Bucs take over now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Throwing, Winston. Now he's flushed out right. He's going to take off with it. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Adam Thielen, he gets set to go again with the rest of this offense. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us, but they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown. McManus's point after is good, and that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run. First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. 1st and 10 right at the 20. They'll run it here with Bernard. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, Bernard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. On 3rd down, Winston. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. In for the score. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 21-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Bucs on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Winston. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Here's Bradley Pena now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Fielded at the 33. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk...
That's caught at the 25. A big pickup of 38.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Shaquille Barrett put that sack by his name in the stat sheet.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Throwing is Cousins. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by M.J. Stewart. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Airing this one out for Evans. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air. And then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Cousins now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw, Cousins. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The former first-round pick, Vernon Hargreaves, the one who was there defensively.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Let's go.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Winston now to throw on 1st down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we hit halftime. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Go!
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's go.
To throw is Winston. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Winston. And Winston lost the football. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now this shot downfield on 2nd down is brought in. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run with a former Badger. It's Corey Clement. And he gets it down to the 32.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Ndamukong Suh. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Cousins to throw it. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Off the play fake, Winston. Going for Evans, but that pass is intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead will swell by one more. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown up. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Gideon coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. On the draw, here's Bernard. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Winston. He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage in big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with a recipe of the ground game. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. And we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, it's Clement.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll stay on the ground with Clement, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 3rd and 10 now. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10, and he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try to make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on 1st down. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now first and goal. They'll run with Clement, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Corey Clement, his second touchdown on the season as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
Yeah, they are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a gain of 16, first down Tampa Bay. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Winston. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. Winston now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. Now Winston, that's caught by Howard. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. A first down throw for Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, second and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10.
Check three.
Jameis again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. The Bucs on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is third and 10. Again, it's Winston. And, Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the return will stop right around the 25. Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. On the ground, it's Clement to start the drive. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, second and 3. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a third down and 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll try and run here with Clement. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. Defensively, they know the situation. They stacked the line. Heck, that was a goal line set right there.
And it's the right play for them, exactly what they have to do. They want to take away every gap, every crack, and make sure no one can get through it. But here's the deal, though. You've worked on offense all year long about these types of defensive fronts. If they can penetrate it at all, your runner has a chance to go a long way behind.
It could be a house call.
Offense.
They were going for it on 4th and inches, now 4th and 5.
Yeah, everything had built to a crescendo, hadn't it? 4th and inches. I mean, we were coming out of our chairs up here. Now on 4th and 5, you've got to think about whether you want to go for it or not.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Check. Watch 54. You. Let me go.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to let it fly. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Yeah, let's get sack lunch.
To throw, Winston. And he finds Howard complete.
Okay.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton.